But sometimes we just gotta fight for what we believe to get it right.
You're listening to the AfterWorld podcast. My name is Mankind.
And I'm High Rise One.
And this is Tucson's Arizona premier spot for hip hop. It's a podcast for the people.
By the people.
That's right. Yo, and in the building today, y'all, we have the amazing, the fantastic, the self-love enthusiast. Yo, on our very special 40th episode, please put your hands together for Chezale in this place.
Tucson, give it up.
How are you doing, Chezale? Finally.
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, yo, I'm so glad to have you here. Honestly, it's been a rough meeting. Like it's been a couple of days we've been trying to connect.
Yes. We got rained out.
Yes,
we got rained out. We had a ton of rain yesterday. You know what I mean? It was just crazy.
It's beautiful though.
Isn't it nice though?
So
we love
beautiful.
the rain out here in the desert. Yeah,
it does. It does. I mean,
like a reboot.
Yeah.
After this summer, I'll take anything.
Right.
I'm serious. I'll take whatever you got. Rain, sleet, snow.
Yes.
As long as it ain't that 100-degree heat, I'm all for it.
We want that hoodie weather, you know?
Yes. Hoodie weather.
Definitely.
Hoodie and timber
I
weather.
actually just broke out my hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just broke out my hoodie, and while I was in there, I saw my leathers. So I was like, hey, you know, maybe.
Right? Right? That's how it is. You look at the leather every year, be like, man,
Right.
is this the year I'll be able to wear my leather?
Yo, so I do need to start off the show saying that the Tucson Hip Hop Fest submissions are open, and we need you to submit your music. We want you to submit your music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you want to have something to do with the hottest show in freaking Tucson, the hottest festival that Tucson has to offer, I mean, submit. Graffiti writers, break dancers, rappers. You know what I mean?
And if you got vending, you know what I'm saying, you want to do a
vendors.
promote your own your stuff, your clothing line or whatever it is. You got a restaurant or something going on locally.
Yep.
Be a good time to get in now, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is. Big shout out to Pike Romero, Jocelyn Valencia over there. They do that thing hard. I love it. It's
What up,
so
Pike?
dope. You did it in 2017?
The festival?
Yeah. Did you do it in
I did
2017?
it for 2 years, but
16 and 17.
Yeah.
That's live.
Yeah.
That's
it was a
live.
Good time. It was fun.
I remember seeing you on the outside stage, right?
Yep.
That was last.
That was
17,
17,
right?
Okay.
Man, were you you didn't have the issue with the sun, right?
The
sun.
The sun.
The sun.
There was
The sun glazing
on
in your
that
face.
stage.
No, 'cause it was
blinding a lot
nighttime
of
when I
people.
was out there.
Remember earlier? Did you see the stage earlier on in the night? Oh
I
man,
did not.
that sun
was it glaring out there?
It was.
Oh no.
Because
Okay.
you know it was facing the sunset, so it's
Okay.
like that at some point, like between whatever it was, 5 and 6:30,
Right.
those acts right there, they were squinting.
I would have had to have my stunner shades on.
Oh yeah,
I was just
see?
about to say that.
Yeah, right.
You're definitely gonna need the stunner shades for that.
Yo, but I mean, we talked a little bit about this. We're not gonna go too much on it, but you seen the Danye? You seen what happened the other day? Your boy
I like how you say Danye.
Danye.
You talking about Yeezy?
Danye Wump or whatever you want to.
Danye West?
Yeah, American Jobs. If you don't look good, we don't look good.
Wow. Okay.
I love you, man.
Okay. Yeah, he's still in
What's
the sunken
going on in
place.
hip hop
In the
today?
he's in the sunken place.
He's still in the sunken
how
place.
Much of
A little bit.
how much of that is promoting his new music, and how much of that
I mean,
is?
well, if you think about it, I mean, Kanye, he just produced on 4 albums in the last year.
Yeah.
He dropped them like back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
And even though they were some pretty good artists, the album sales didn't really do that great. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So
definitely. So that's what I'm saying. Is this more
Right.
publicity for records?
right, and
honestly?
you know how it goes. If the album sales don't do too good, then you have to do other things to make people show interest. You know what I'm saying? As far
definitely.
as getting views and staying relevant in the news. And
I watched it pretty intently, and the one thing that I could say that I got from it was I was glad he brought up Stop and Frisk.
Stop and Frisk in Chicago.
Stop and Frisk
Yeah.
it's breaking people down over.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing. It's ruining relationships with cops and the community.
Right.
And it needs to be revisited. So
Right.
I mean, this is I don't want to get too much into politics. We want to keep it light.
But he's always been controversial. So.
Right. He's always
Yeah.
been controversial.
He's losing a lot of
fans,
right
yeah,
now,
and
though.
support.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he looks like he looks like he's cold one day, then he's hot the next, and then he's
I think he's going after a different demographic.
really.
Honestly, I think he's going after it completely because he talks completely different.
Yeah.
He's got like that British that British accent syndrome that people just wake up one day they got a British accent. I'm like, Kanye just kind of woke up one day and started talking like this. Like, are you serious? What?
It's true.
What do you mean?
It's true.
It's that Kardashian trait.
He
Exactly.
took on that
He
Kardashian
went from
accent.
being a brother from Chicago.
Like,
He's
yo,
Calabasas
right,
now. He's
right,
Calabasas.
there
Right?
it is, Calabasas.
Calabasas.
Yeah.
West.
It's like, oh my God, everything's like now.
Yeah. So the System movie, you said you seen the System movie.
I did. I had an
Man.
opportunity to go see that. A friend invited me to go see it last week, I believe, at the Harkins Spectrum. And it was really dope.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just so cool seeing people from the community putting
Right.
out something
Shout out
quality.
Swindo. Shout out Swindo.
Shout out to
Whoa,
homie
whoa.
Swin.
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
Woo woo.
Whoa, whoa.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah,
No, but I mean, it was very quality, and it had a great message.
Yep, incredible. And Corey Paz, the two had something to do with the score.
Talking about TUAZ?
TUAZ had something to do with. I think he had something to do with. If he didn't have something to do with the score, he did the promotional video, the audio for the commercials.
Okay.
Of course,
And
okay.
iRock did the official
iRock
filming.
Daniels.
iRock Daniels. What's up,
He
iRock?
directed it.
Look, if you looked at the credits, them credits was long. There
Yeah.
were so many people
So many
involved.
people.
I know Black One was involved with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Production
Okay.
side,
Yeah.
too.
Jared Inkner.
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a wild.
And he had a couple little extra shots.
Oh, did he?
Because I was looking for everybody. I'm like,
Right.
I know that person. Yeah, it was so cool though.
So
yeah.
was it? Do you know if they shot any of it here in Tucson, or was it all in Phoenix?
I think I heard him
Phoenix
say
area?
mostly Phoenix.
Mostly Phoenix.
Yeah. Mostly Phoenix. But even some of it looked like LA. But
Really?
Yeah.
I thought so too. I didn't
I
know.
did too.
I couldn't
saw a
tell
little
where
bit.
it was. I was like,
Looked
is
like
that-
it was a little LA in there in the
Yeah.
backdrops. You know?
Yeah, it had
Some
a
of the
very
neighborhoods.
California-ish feel to it.
Right.
It did.
Yeah. So, but you liked it. It was good.
I did. Yeah.
They've extended it. If you live in the Phoenix area, they have extended it for one more week, so you got a little bit more time to get in there. I'm hoping it comes back because I had such a busy week. There was no way. I mean, I was back and forth from Phoenix. I'm up and down. I haven't slept in like 48 hours at this point, so I'm dying to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people that need an opportunity to see it if they didn't get a
Yeah.
chance
Right?
to.
Yeah,
Know.
Swindle-
I'm dying to see it.
Swindle came by the shop, man, and dropped off some flyers and everything, and a couple posters too.
Yeah.
Man, so
Nice.
that
Nice.
was really cool. It's good. Good chance to catch up with them, man. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
and I'm hoping they get on like a really dope film festival
Yeah.
run.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Picked
saw
up.
Mario Van Peebles up
I
in
saw
there.
I sure
that.
did.
In the
I saw
place.
Van
I
People's
was
like,
there.
okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a dope
I saw
support.
Van
I'm trying to
Peoples
see that
there.
on Netflix though. I hope it makes it.
Okay,
You
that
know
was
what
my
I
next
mean?
thing. Is like, hey
Oh,
man,
man.
you get it on Netflix, you good, bro.
Yes.
You
Oh,
really
if we
good.
on
can do
Netflix,
it.
we
We can
all
do it.
day. We all day. But you know, man, I got mad love for Swindle. I got mad love for everybody.
Yeah,
We're here
man.
to talk about some Chezale. We want to
That's
get
what's
into.
up.
We got a lot to get into, so we should probably start talking about you.
Let's get it.
Some of the first things that I was wondering is, honestly, whenever we talk to somebody for the first time, we want to know where they're from, how they got started in hip hop,
Right.
and obviously with you, I've had the opportunity of seeing you do music for a long time, actually in Tucson. Are you from Tucson? Were you born here?
I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what's up.
Yes, and I moved here when I was a kid, basically. So I've been here many, many years. But I'm originally from the Burgh. I got my
Nice.
Steelers bag with me. I'm always
mean,
representing.
I mean, it's Eagles round. It's Eagles
okay.
country over here.
Oh, Philly. Oh, well, I got love for Philly. Though.
Hey,
my dad lives in
I
Philly.
got love for Pennsylvania in a whole.
Yeah.
I love the Steelers. I
Yeah.
love the Phillies.
It's
you know what I
love.
mean?
It's all love.
Yeah, it's all love. It's all.
Yeah.
It's just,
and there's like a PAAZ connection that's kind of
Right.
Really?
it's weird too. Yeah, I've just
Right.
noticed over the years, like meeting different people from here. The weather they want to
Yeah.
escape. All that snow and
right.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, cool
Man,
connection.
that's great. That's fantastic. So, what got you into it though? Did you start down here?
As far as music,
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, I would
Clearly,
say,
you had some kind of influence from birth,
For sure.
right?
Oh.
You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. Yeah. No. All of the foundational stuff, for sure.
Yeah,
It's
and
all
Pittsburgh's
still
a musical
included
town.
there. Yeah, and just like the household and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I would say, as far as getting started, like when I actually first started writing and really performing, a lot of that started here.
yeah. Right
yeah,
on.
Getting a lot of my earliest performances done, and in schooling, and all that stuff. But,
Did I hear you say Jared Inkner actually put you on one of your first vaudeville shows?
Yeah, he did. My first.
The vaudeville.
Yeah.
The vaudeville.
Throwback.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know you've been around if you were performing in vaudeville.
I know.
Right.
Well, the funny part about it is like I have been performing here in the community since as a minor, like since I was really, really young. But it wasn't until I was actually legally able to get in the club that we were able to make that happen at vaudeville. So Jerron gave me that first opportunity.
Shout out Black One.
Yeah, it was so dope. There was a ladies' night show actually that he put together.
Oh, wait a minute.
You know what? I think I remember that.
You remember? It was all female lineup.
Lady Gray.
I'm not sure if Gray was on it, but there was a poet that goes by Masterpiece. She's all over you if you look her up. But
that does sound really familiar.
There was another Deanna. I can't remember her full name. There was a couple of ladies on there, and Greg Sachs hosted.
Oh wow!
The show that night. Yeah,
that's old school.
It was packed out, and it was a lot of love. It was so cool, And I came through, and I think I might have had a couple dancers on that show with me.
Nice.
I think I do remember that.
Do you? Yeah. You probably do.
I think I do remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you were the only one. You were one of the only people locally I had seen with dancers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like with actual choreography and like movements. Everybody else was on very much the same.
Right. And just rapping and singing at the same time.
Right. Exactly.
Very impressive.
Well,
very
dance
impressive.
has always been a huge part of my background too, and so at that time I was heavily dancing with my company at the time. So anytime I would do shows, they would have my back in.
Right. That's fantastic. Yeah. In my notes, I have you down as rapper, teacher, dancer, model, actor. Have I missed anything?
Singer-songwriter.
Singer-songwriter. See, I knew it. It's like,
give it up.
It's like what else? What else is there? Honestly, that's the seven-headed monster right
Real
there.
talk.
Like,
That's like
man,
ultra talent.
Thank you. It's just one of those things that they've all just been a natural part of my being in my life, And it's just like, I think most of all, I always say I'm like a child of the arts, like of performing arts. So when it comes to anything that's like expressive, I have ventured into those things.
Right.
That's fantastic. Your favorite out of those?
Ooh.
Dancing,
that's
singing, writing,
like the hardest
rapping.
question. I don't.
Which one comes easiest?
It's hard to say I have a favorite because it goes through cycles, right?
Right. It's got to be the one you're doing at the time,
right? Or
the
giving the most energy to. And it's funny because, it's like with music and dance, those are synonymous together.
Totally.
Right, true.
So I can't have one without the other.
Right.
One makes you want to do the other.
It does.
Sing, you want to dance.
They're so
you
connected.
Dance, you want to sing.
Yeah, I would say out of all of those things, music and dance are probably the conglomerate.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's the big time right there.
That's and I love to dance, and really I'm putting a lot of energy toward that right now too. So I would say maybe that's currently the favorite.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there's a shortage of female MCs. I feel.
For sure.
In Tucson, especially today. Now, we were talking a little bit before the show about just the years and years of, traversing the scene, and they would come and they would go, and a lot of the times they're not so aware of each other. You know what I mean? So we're trying to figure out how we can all kind of just be aware of more female MCs without it having to be a big deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, how? Can you give us some advice?
That's just a small example of really a bigger thing,
I think it's going to take somebody like you to be like, hey, just do it.
Collab with me.
Just do it. We need so many more to just do it, right? Yeah, you've been doing it.
Yeah, I've been in it, The main thing is just if there are those female artists that want to do it and that's their everything, they just really got to get out there.
Yeah.
You know, and they just got to get to know the right people in the community, just like how Jerron gave me that opportunity.
Yeah.
They just, you know, need to put themselves out there. And also, when you talk about visibility, then that, for me, puts more accountability on those who are responsible for putting on the shows and promoting the shows and booking the shows. I feel like they should, especially if you got quality artists out there, they should give them that shot.
Definitely.
And give them that platform.
Yeah, well, because, you know, I've been on this kind of crusade for a while now, right? So people keep sending me things, right? So, and I'm starting to notice, like, for the other day, I got a video of this 17-year-old girl. She was from Tucson, but she moved to California, and it was just her in her bedroom spitting. And I was like, this is so fire. Like, this is so fire. But I can't share this. Like, she's underage in her bedroom. This is not a real song. How am I going to look putting this young girl up on my page? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I need you to do it. I need you to make a SoundCloud. You know, just make a SoundCloud. Because if you want SoundCloud, it's all good. I'm not sharing your personal Facebook page, though. Right. I just can't go there. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's just a couple steps, man.
Sure.
And so, I don't know. And honestly, I have a lot of people that have been reaching out. It's like, a lot of people don't know how to start recording. You know what I mean? It's like, just the most basic, simplest part of it. You don't have to have a studio. I mean, how did you get started as far as getting into a studio and recording? Like, were you recording at home before that? You know what I mean? Were you like doing stuff on the handheld or the 4-track? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, what propelled you into the studio?
Wow, that's a really good question. I would say the first steps, my mom had a lot to do with, supporting and getting me out there. There were times where we visited local studios just to see like what was out there, you know. But before even getting to that point, when we were just really in the beginnings of like me trying to develop original music and original sound, one of my throwback stories is my mom was super active with getting this like beat machine. I forget what the name of it. Dr. Groove.
Dr. Groove.
Oh shoot! It just came to me. Yeah, and it was this little machine.
Orange buttons, orange glow buttons. It's the DR12. Yeah, that's the doctor.
Remember some of it, but we would experiment on this beat machine and like, you know, seeing some of the sounds that were already in there.
Yeah.
And like, there was a couple samples in there that we would play with, and really some of my earliest songs were developed out of that.
Definitely.
And actually, who introduced my mother to that, when we talk about Guitar Center days, was the homie DJ Deco of Jivin' Scientist. Shout out to Jivin'.
Oh wow.
So we go really far back there. I mean, and this is when I'm like barely in high school, like, you know. And so
that's
we
insane.
made that connection, and so he became a really good friend, musical friend over the years. Like, he DJ'd my album release party for my first album at the Dry River. Do you remember that?
Man. Oh
I mean,
man.
I mean, when you talk about being around, right?
Yeah. Deco at the river. What?
Dry River.
You know,
you kidding me?
Like,
that's some vintage stuff right there.
Vintage, like, and he's played other events and stuff for me. So yeah, I mean, we got started with that, and then I would say just out of high school, getting into college, I have friends, of course, who were into music, and I would go to their home setups and do like little features and stuff for them, like hooks and stuff. So that, I think those were my first like recording experiences, and then that's when a few years later or so, I started to get into my album, my debut album, and that's when we stumbled upon Sound and Fury.
Yes.
So Sound and Fury was my first official studio experience.
Sound and Fury. Shout out to my boy Jason Canfield.
Shout out to Jason,
the premier engineer.
Yeah.
Best drummer in AZ.
Best drummer in AZ. That's my drummer guy right there. I've known that guy for 25 years.
Oh my gosh.
Easy.
Wow.
Easy.
Yes.
And so this is we keep going back and forth. What was your album called?
My album was called My Story, The Making of a Maverick.
There you go. The Making of the Maverick. And that was Mav music.
That Lady Maverick.
Well, that came later,
and all
but
that.
that's
came later.
But Lady Maverick came out of that, was birthed out of that. You know, the whole word Maverick and my identity with that.
Right.
But yeah, that was in 2007.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's when you and I actually had our first experience together, right?
And didn't even know it.
Had no clue, right? So my guy that I work with forever, JC Canfield, he's at Sound and Fury, right? I'm at Guitar Center, right? And I'm just making beats. I'm not only making beats. I'm at this point I'm hooked up with my guy Trey Coronado. And George Gonzalez, rest in peace.
Hurricane, yeah, rest in
peace. DJ Hurricane. So we had this little 3-way kind of, like, we would go after we all worked at Guitar Center, and we would go, and I had my laptop, and Trey was the guitar player, and George was the horn player / DJ, and we just start going crazy, right? And I was like, I wanted to record everything, because then I could go back and sample this live 3-hour jam session, right? And so that's what we did. So it was, we only did it one time.
Oh my gosh.
Like this only worked out right one time where I had the actual, like, 3 of us together with the laptop. We plugged in and we were going off, and that song was birthed out of that. It was called Reminiscent. It ended up being called Reminiscent. I don't remember what we would call it.
I remember that.
But it was
Yo,
I remember that.
when you just
Super
told me
Connect.
that, just found out all these years later that you had a big part in the instrumentation. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
I'm like, I would have threw you in the credits.
Oh
if I
no, live wires connect. Live wires connect. No.
I mean, and those like
Let's go show you how it works.
Yeah.
in that song are that song is a personal classic for me, and anyone who's followed my music like over the years, they love that song.
That's what's
when
up.
I perform it, because it's so authentically hip hop.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're the only one you're the only one in the world that's going to get a bag from those guys, because they never made beats again. Never made no beats for nobody. That was a worlds collide, like once in a million. Like, I can't even tell you the probability on that. It could never happen again.
So you mean to tell me Hurricane was playing as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he might even been the one on the guitar. I don't know who was playing guitar
Hurricane,
at that moment. It could have been anybody.
Hurricane did it all: guitar, trumpet, DJ, scratch, piano, keyboard. He did it all,
and
man.
That just does something to my heart. Just
honestly,
that, you know who else was a part of that.
Honestly, I think Hurricane was the one that did the brown, and then Trey was doing that because he was into that ding dong dong, like he was doing. He used to do all the like the classic medieval riffs. Yeah. He was like a rock guy, so he would go deep into these like really, you know what I mean? So it was crazy. It was crazy.
It's so insane because the first time I really had the experience of breaking the musicality of that song down was when I had a band.
Yeah.
Right? And I had a band, and we were called Lady Mav and High Def.
Nice.
It was like a year and a half that we were together. So like probably some people y'all know that were a part of the band. One of my really good friends, David Rodriguez, I've known for years. He works in education. And also, are you guys familiar with Tucson Foodie at all?
Tucson Foodie, yeah.
Yeah. My boy Adam, who's behind that, was our bass player for a bit. And they had to learn the parts. They had to learn the bass line, learn the guitar, and like, I mean,
oh man, I can't imagine what. Oh man, you guys must have been killing it.
I'll have to send you some old
video links. You got some video? You got some audio? Oh, I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Yes.
I think people would love to see it, honestly, too. That sounds amazing.
So much has developed out of that song as far as where I've performed it.
So that was around 2007, 2008? Or was that later when you got the band?
The band was 2009, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, after shout out to Sound and Fury. Shout out to my guy, JC. Shout out to everybody involved in the making of a Maverick. Because that was a great album, too. If you haven't seen that, I'm sure that's on SoundCloud still somewhere, right?
You know, I did make it available on Bandcamp.
There you go. Go check out the Bandcamp. Go and Chezale's on it's Chezale Presents. Usually,
Chezale,
right?
But mostly Chezale Presents.
Right. Yeah. So I mean,
that's the brand,
right? And you know what? Honestly, you're one of the very few people that you can Google. Have you Googled yourself?
out there.
Well, if you Google Chezale, it comes up as an artist.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and with the I don't know if there's a picture, but it's the beginnings of it. You know, so you know how you Google let's just say Kid Cudi, somebody famous, right?
Yeah.
And it pops up, and there's that red bar that says Kid Cudi is an American musician.
Yeah.
And then it's
That's
got
how
his
Chezale
picture, a
comes
little
up.
small picture right there on the side. And it's like link to Wikipedia.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say. The link to Wikipedia.
Yes.
So if you Google Chezale, it pops up with the red bar. It says, I think it says American.
Yeah, American
Yeah,
artist.
we should.
I have not
Let's
seen
do it
that.
after. Let's do it after the show.
Are
Everybody
you
go
kidding?
Google Chezale right now
That
because
would be
that will
insane.
push her up. Let's get
Oh
that
my
going.
gosh.
Yeah, let's get that
You
going.
put me on something new. Okay.
Right?
Nice.
I mean, because I was looking you up, so I had to Google you, of course. So you know what I mean. So yeah, big up to one of the most prominent artists that we've actually talked to on this show, because a lot of people, we don't talk to a lot of established people. Let's put it like that. We talk to a lot of people who are trying to get established, and a lot of people who are really, really talented, but not a whole heck of a lot who have done as much as you've done.
Wow.
And have done it in the time you've been able to do it and been able to maintain it.
And kept the
You know what I
status,
mean?
as far as,
been
I
able to
appreciate
maintain
that.
it. Can we talk about you being on the cover of the Tucson Weekly last year?
Sure.
What?
So I wake up in the morning and go out and get my coffee. I pick up the new Tucson Weekly, and Chezale.
You're like, it's a black woman.
Chezale is this close, like it's right there, face on the front.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Cover.
Man.
Of the Tucson Weekly, and I was like, it was as if I had met you. I was like, yo!
So you didn't know that was coming?
I didn't know.
No?
Are you
That was a
serious?
complete shock to me.
Wow.
Like, I did an interview about the festival. We did the interview. I figured, oh, cool, there'll be like maybe a page spot or something like that. And so I knew when to keep an eye out for the issue, and I'm like on it, like, cool, what day? Cool, I'm going to the store. So I'm like, I go to Sprouts. I go to Sprouts, and they have their little magazine thing right at the entrance, and I look down, and there's my face. And it tripped me out. Like, I hopped on the phone and called my mom. I'm like come to Sprouts, because I was like really close to her house. I was like, come to Sprouts right now, come to Sprouts. She didn't tell her why. She's probably like, why did she want me to go to Sprouts? Like, and we go to Sprouts, and I just point down, and she's like, what?
Oh man.
And we just had a moment. It was so cool.
Oh
just
man,
humbling.
I would have taken the rest of the day driving around the city, taking
thing.
selfies in front of all the stands.
People I know did that and sent me pictures like, with it and stuff. It was just
that's awesome.
humbling.
I felt like that was a really big moment in Tucson hip hop. Honestly, it was like finally getting some kind of recognition. I mean, we had gotten something, but little here and there, but no one who was really just on the inside, you know what I mean? Because like I guess previously to that, Murs was on there, and Murs is kind of from Tucson, kind of from LA mostly. So it's like it was nice to see a hometown hero on there. Honestly, it was really a woman,
groundbreaking
for real, like one of us. Honestly, it's how it felt. It's like one of us finally got the cover of the weekly.
Somebody that you know has put work in Tucson.
Insane.
Yeah, we know.
Straight up.
Thank you guys.
Well deserved.
Right,
it was well deserved too.
There's almost like that small little hole as far as an entrance that people can get through, right? So we sort of hear the same people getting like those nods and the recognition. So it is nice when somebody else breaks through, you know? And
so how much did you, we talked to a lot of artists about management, right? And I know at least back then, your mom was your manager. Is that how?
Helped me with a lot of stuff.
Right. Is that still the case?
I would say my mother, if more than anything, is the biggest supporter. Right. So when it comes, management is always like management. That word.
Yes.
Like so
I'm Gabriel, and I represent you.
Right. There's that like momager type.
Yeah.
You know, that a lot earlier on. But when we talk about independent, that is. Man, there's no stretch of the imagination when it comes to like really being independent. And so that's where I have been.
Definitely.
So I do a lot myself.
Yes.
A lot of booking and networking and a lot of that myself. But I've also been blessed to work with other people, sort of. When you sort of talk about that team, for me, that team is interchangeable. So it's really anybody who has come in and has supported me in a vision.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how we make it happen. It's very grassroots.
Nice. Well, speaking about working with other people, you just released Separate.
Yes.
Separate with James
Cypherface.
James Goodbeard,
James
Cypherface.
Yes,
Shout out to
Goodbeard.
Face.
Asian Pierce Bronson.
Hey,
Yes.
who's another Tucson legend.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
Kimchi James.
Yes.
Right. We'll call him, man. He got so many names.
He's got about 1 million nicknames.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But you
Yes.
all know who we're talking about.
Right, the
Separate
beard.
the love from the hate, the real from the fake.
Yes.
The cover art's amazing. I sat there and stared at the cover for a long time.
It takes you a minute, right?
Yeah,
To
it
see
was
what's
it,
going
it
on.
was
You
like
have to really
one of
look.
those 3D puzzles.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, wait,
Like,
wait,
what am I looking
what
at?
am I actually looking at right here?
Right.
And then I started, you know what I mean? It's spot on. Who did the cover art?
Oh,
Do you know?
I'm pretty new to it. I know he puts it, I don't know the exact name. It's like something Bia. Not, I know it's an Arizona person. I don't want to
Right.
misname, but he has all that. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, even another logo in there, produced by Percy Wells.
Percy Wells.
That joint was hot.
Percy Wells. Thank you.
So how did you? I mean, obviously, you and Cypherface, I didn't see that coming.
A lot of
you
people
know?
haven't.
So how did that come to pass?
Wow, like I met Face years ago.
Yeah.
I probably for the first time would meet Face whenever I would record at the Den Studios, which is the two.
The Den.
And Muggs would be coming in and out of there doing
Yeah.
sessions, and I'd be hanging out, maybe doing my session. I remember him and Ox coming in, and I mean all
Yep.
kind of people.
Shout out to Ox.
Yeah,
Meridox.
Yeah, so he, I met him back then, like around the time of my album,
Yeah.
some years ago, and then we just always been cool, and he's always been so supportive. That's
Right.
one thing I'll say about Face is he's so humble.
Oh man, with everybody.
And so supportive.
Really good
like,
guy, man.
Wow. And I'm like, wow, this guy is so cool. Like anytime I put something out, he'll acknowledge it and support it.
Yeah,
And so
definitely.
I'm like, dope. So we've always had that exchange with each other.
Yeah.
And then one day he just hit me up and was like, and I'm sure it's something we probably wanted to do for a long time, but just
Right.
never got around to it. And he hit me up and was like, I got this beat. I got this album that I want to put it on. He's like, here, he kind of gave me the background on like the album.
Yeah.
But when it came to the beat, there wasn't a whole lot of direction there. It was just more like, here it is. If you can see what you can come up with,
Yes.
maybe a hook, blah blah blah. But there wasn't a total vision there
Right.
yet. And so I listened to it and I liked it. And literally within like a day, I just came up with a melody and
Nice.
and I just like voice noted it
Yeah.
back to him, and he's like, I love it. Boom. So we went from there, and that sort of became the concept.
Yeah.
Like we want to do something. We know we want to do something that's powerful,
Yeah.
that's impactful, that's positive for the time right now, that we really, really need to like push and drive this message of love right now.
Yeah.
Right. And like dismissing
Definitely.
the negativity. you
Definitely.
know? And like it went from there. I gave him that, and he came back with his dope verses.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, he
and
killed
he
it.
smashed.
He killed
And
it.
yeah, and like it just went from there, and like literally we're releasing it, but we did put this together like a year ago.
Wow.
So it takes time, like
Yeah,
to
definitely.
to get, and then sometimes
I mean, that's East Coast, West Coast connect. You
it's
know what I mean?
crazy. Also, shout out to Ricky with SEMA Music. That's where I recorded.
Okay,
it
that's
at his
that's forgot to
studio.
ask you where you're recording now.
From SEMA Music, and he put that together for me, the recording and the vocal mixing, and we shot that to
Nice.
Percy, and like it went
Yeah.
from there,
That's what's up. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
That's how you do it.
We managed to link up that way.
I would love to see a video connect on
Oh
that
man,
too.
I was just thinking
Me
about.
too,
I was just
though.
saying. I was
Video
just thinking of
connect.
that. I was like,
Put
yo,
that in the universe
That's my
right
next
now.
question.
I said,
Yeah.
look, Face, like right in the middle of it, I was like, we got to do a video.
We gotta
I
do
visuals
said, I
for
know
that.
you in New York. I know I'm here, but we got to make this happen.
Yes.
Maybe when you come out, whatever, but it's in the universe. So
Right?
I'm hoping
Yeah.
that will manifest.
Yes, let's
'cause I want
manifest that.
Let's manifest
Let's
that.
do
You hear
it.
that, Face? Let's manifest.
Yeah, let's do it,
Get that
Face.
done.
Come on, James
Get that
Goodbeard.
done.
Yeah.
I see you out there. So I just kind of whiplash. Let's whiplash around real quick because I didn't mention it earlier when I was talking about your multifaceted lifestyle.
Sure.
You just got done doing something called twerk fusion on the rooftop at the playground.
I did, yeah.
And
yeah.
what exactly? So obviously that falls within the dance teacher
Yeah.
It does,
aspect,
that's a
right?
whole other life, but,
But right?
Yeah.
When you do these things, do you ever play your own music?
no.
Okay.
People always wonder if I do. You should play this. It's like,
Yeah.
the most I've done maybe for like students is I'll like sneak in a certain song. Like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, I have this song that's a remix to you know Kaya's song, that really bad song that she made.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I did is I made, I know, right? You're like, whoa, how do you introduce that to your students?
Yeah.
But
Remix.
I did a remix, and the remix is just about stretching.
Okay.
So like stretch it now, stretch it, stretch those muscles just like you should. Right?
Okay.
And I play it, and they were like, "Wait, what's this? This ain't the actual song." And then I had a couple students like, "Is this you, Miss?" I'm like, "Maybe."
That's how you do it. You just throw it on, you let it play, and then you sit back and watch their reaction.
Exactly.
That's hilarious because my wife's a teacher, and I just noticed she always says what you just said. They always call her Miss.
Yep.
It's like, hey, Miss, is that you, Miss?
Like, they don't care about the name.
Yeah, right. It's always Miss.
Miss.
Like these teachers, like they don't have an identity. They're Miss.
Right.
Excuse me, Miss. No, I'm not having it.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
that's dope, though.
Torque
That's
Fusion
dope.
is kind of a new class I'm trying out.
Yeah. So is that open to the public? Obviously.
Yeah, I have a monthly that I started. It's pretty fresh since the summer.
That's phenomenal.
We're
Is it
trying
at
out.
the playground?
Well, no, the monthly is at Movement Culture. Shout out to Brian with Movement Culture, and which is a really dope studio where they offer all kinds of cultural and worldly classes like capoeira, belly dancing.
Where are they at?
Okay.
They are off of 9th.
Okay.
So like university-ish area,
Yeah.
like near 4th Avenue. And so my monthly is the last Saturday of every month there.
Nice.
But Playground was like a pop-up.
Yeah.
You know, so like to kind of help promote that. But it's great because I'm sort of building a relationship with them. So I probably will do another one.
Nice. Yes.
But that was so cool because I'm so used to the traditional dance setting.
Right.
Mirrors and all that stuff.
Right.
But this was like
I've never been on the
downtown.
playground. I've never been on the rooftop.
Like
What's it
outside.
like?
Yeah. Have you been up there?
Yeah, I've been up there
It's
before.
so
It's really nice, man.
Yeah.
Like
really
you got
nice.
the breezes. You can see the Hotel Congress
Yeah.
sign and like
Yeah.
just the city, and it's just so
Just the
cool.
openness, you know,
Real
it's
open.
Yeah,
Real
it's really
open.
nice.
Yeah. So, you know,
nice.
I had my little mic set up and
Yeah.
it was great.
So
you
there's
know?
a possible location for the Separate video,
Hey.
remember?
Yeah. That'd be nice. I could see that.
Yeah.
Right on. So let's see. I mean, I'm at the bottom of my notes. I do have one more question. Do you have any plans on being at the Tucson Hip Hop Fest night next year?
No, I haven't thought that far ahead yet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, it's been a while since I've performed, and that's been intentional, right? Because I've been so used to going
Yeah.
that there just comes a time where you just need to like pause and
Right.
reflect
Right.
and
See what's next.
and see what's next
Right.
and you know, be selective. So that's kind of where I'm at with
Right.
it now. So I don't have like for sure answers on like
Right.
booking or anything right now, but it's a possibility. And honestly, what I would like to, I know Face has come down for the festival a couple times.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would love
Oh,
for
every
us-
time.
I would
Oh,
love
yeah.
for us to do something together.
Yeah.
Man,
You know what
if
I
you
mean?
guys could perform
If we
that,
could perform separate,
man, woo-wee.
Definitely.
Face, hello.
Do it on the main stage.
Cypher Face.
Hey, you hear us, right?
Cypher
Good
Face.
beard.
Hey. So if we could do that, I'd be open to it.
So something
sounds
I'm
good.
always interested in is clearly I'm doing a podcast. I've rapped. I've done this. I've done that. Meeting you now, I'm like, have you ever thought about getting into hosting?
Into hosting?
Yeah.
I have done a little bit of like.
Have
hosting.
you?
I have.
Yeah, I mean, you're a teacher.
Yeah.
You're a rapper, dancer. You know, you do
Yeah.
classes.
Yep.
You seem like a no-brainer, honestly,
Right.
for like
Honestly.
a host.
Thank you
Honestly,
so much.
it's like,
You know, I've hosted. I mean, lightweight, but I've hosted a couple of events, like dance events
Yeah.
in the past. Do you remember Raw Artists?
Raw Artists. Was that like a showcase?
It was a showcase, but it
Okay.
was it's a national
Yeah.
organization. But
Yeah.
there was a Raw Artist Tucson
Yeah, I remember
for a
that.
while. So
I
I
think-
was the host of that for like 6
Really?
months. And so that was really cool too.
Yeah.
See?
Artists in and out.
So
and,
that's
yeah.
you didn't. That's another 8-headed
Yeah,
monster.
it's
Host,
Right,
see?
a host.
I
I
told
like,
you.
I gotta leave a word out here. Like,
Miguel got
I got
12
too many
jobs. She got
flashes.
12 jobs.
Look,
Miguel
they
got
gonna
12
think I'm
jobs.
naked over here.
She 12 job galley. She was
Look, you got to bring
I
in.
know, right?
You got to bring many
Miguel got
bags.
12 job. Yeah,
She
she
got a
is
paid
a
for
pilot.
She
She
run
a
a
janitor.
podcast.
She
She's
a
writing
host.
a novel.
She's a cat groomer. She's a dog walker.
drives a
Look, I do have a cat, but
Oh,
look.
see, there it is. Put that one down there too.
Yeah. It's on here
Oh
already.
my gosh.
I got you.
But you know, I have done some of that, and there was I was this close to doing some stuff with 98, to be honest.
Wow.
It just didn't pan out, but just because I'm so busy. But
you have the voice for it. You have a real good voice for radio.
Oh, thank
I could
you.
hear that.
Definitely.
If I could find some time
And
and
the
a check,
personality,
right?
then I'll do
Right.
it.
Well, you find
Right.
a check, then the time will come.
There you go.
check
Look,
first.
we will make room for time.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I would make
Oh,
room.
yeah.
I would cut hours off my sleep
yeah.
for the right amount of money.
Straight up. You can buy some time.
Oh,
you
right
can
there.
buy some of my money.
Right.
You can definitely buy some of my time.
Yes.
You can buy a couple hours of sleep.
Especially, I just got to talk. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, more to come on that, right? We got a couple things. That's why I was telling you earlier. It's like I want to set things up so that our next conversation is going to follow up on the things that we brought up today,
Yeah.
like the video shoot, like what you're going to be hosting next, like what did you do at the Tucson? End up doing the Tucson Hip Hop Fest type stuff. So this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in.
you
Honestly,
guys.
It's been
so
great.
much.
I was late, but it was still great.
Hey,
man.
it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens.
I'll say it was an uphill battle, but it was so worth it. It's
Yeah.
so worth it. It just made it that much better for me, honestly. Like, it was not the smoothest of meetings.
It's all good, but those,
But you know what?
they
We've
work
built
out.
a connection now that I think is going to last a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
We wanted to get you on the show for a while.
For a long
I'm
time.
so glad
Long
that we
time.
made this, and it was perfect timing when you hit me. I'm like, we got the new single coming
Yeah,
out. Like,
right?
this is great. You know?
Yeah, and that must have been, honestly, I don't even know. I must have been like, because I've been talking to Cypherface for a while, right?
Yeah.
And I've been like, dude, when you coming back? When you coming back? When you coming back? And I don't know if he said your name or what. He was like, something. He said, I'm doing something with somebody.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I was like, I should hit up Chezale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
okay, I don't know where that came from. And
Yeah.
then you were like, yeah, I got something coming.
I'm so
I was like,
glad
this
you
is
did.
perfect. This is perfect. So I got, boom.
Yes.
Page full of notes. Boom.
Yes,
She's
boom.
over here.
Boom.
We just recorded our 40th
Boom.
episode.
Yes.
What?
Oh my
Number
goodness, I feel
40?
old.
Do it.
But
Let's
you
do
know,
it.
we got a
Man.
lot more to come.
Now, speaking of separate though,
Do it.
I know y'all got that, you guys will, bump it, all that good stuff. But, can I bless y'all with a little chorus for the people
do
who
it.
haven't
You
heard the
kidding
chorus?
me? We
or
usually
nothing yet?
we don't like to ask, but we really be wanting that type of
Right.
stuff. Because a lot of people like, nah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do
Hey.
it. Like, man, come on,
But,
girl, bless
for
us.
those who never heard it,
Yes.
So, okay.
Most definitely.
Give it up.
And
Give it
then just
up.
A little teaser.
Give her a little intro for it.
Hey. Little drum roll. So this is Separate
Come on now, come on.
by Cypherface featuring Chezale to give y'all a little bit of the hook.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Gotta separate the love from the hate. Gotta separate the real from all the fake. Gotta look inside, keep our heads up to the sky and put some food on our plate. But sometimes we just gotta fight for what we believe to get it right. Gotta join forces together, you and I, and make a difference today.
Boy, y'all don't even know what you just got.
Man,
Look at that, man.
Yo.
Boy, sweet as Calvin.
This has been the best.
Boy,
This
that
has
girl
been the
can
best.
sing,
Honestly,
boy.
we've only
She
had a
can
couple
rap.
people. We've only
You
had a
guys
couple
are
people
amazing.
show us their talents, and that's going in the number one slot right there. All-time favorite moments on
We're
this
gonna have to
show.
open the show with that
That's
one.
why
You
we
guys
do.
are amazing.
That's the
We're
new
gonna have to
reason
open
why
the
we do
with
this
that.
show.
Yeah, right there.
I'm changing my whole
guys are
manifesto
amazing.
right now.
Untapped talent for you.
And you know what? I just want to say thank you for what you guys are bringing and providing
Oh,
to the
definitely.
hip hop
Thank
scene
you.
and community
Most
here in Tucson. You guys are you're showing mad support, you're showing mad love, and this is what we need. This is the
Yeah.
type of glue that we need. And I thank y'all for that.
No,
Seriously.
hey, you're
Shout out to
welcome, and
AfterWorld
thank you.
Podcast.
Thank you. Yo, one love. Chezale, y'all. Put your hands
Chezale's in
together.
the
She
building.
has blessed us. Peace.
Yeah, have a good one. Tucson, we out.